Is this thing on? Welcome back to Big Mouth and fancy seeing you here, and you are very welcome, my friends, and especially my enemies. Come in, sit down, no touching. I don't do the touching. Are you feeling charitable? Then smash the subscribe button and the like button, and please do follow me on Twitter at Movies TV Mad. And welcome to Sunday's edition of the dceu Daily, and I have got brand new exclusive news for you. Information reaching me that we are going to get Zack Snyder's Green Lantern Corps. How amazing would that be if it's true? I'm told, and this is all part of what I was told, that Ryan Reynolds, Hal Jordan, would star in this story. Now, that's all I know. Basically, Ryan Reynolds and Zack Snyder writing and directing with somebody else co-writing with him. Now, how would this fit in if we do get a Justice League 2 and a Justice League 3? I'm told this may be something that happens in between Zack Snyder's Justice League and Justice League 2, so that would be pretty awesome. I think that Ryan Reynolds' Green Lantern movie has been crying out for someone to say, let's fix this. So you can't fix the original movie. It is what it is. It isn't perfect, but I actually enjoy the movie and I like what Reynolds did, and I think a lot of people loved what Ryan Reynolds did. Ryan Reynolds makes fun of it all because everyone else makes fun of it, and he's just like that kid who's being bullied, basically, and he just cracks a joke about what everyone else is cracking a joke about. But I do believe there's an opportunity here. I don't think visually anyone could really make the Green Lantern universe look as amazing as Zack Snyder. So if this information is true, I think, you're going to get a beautiful looking OHA. And as I say before, there is so much potential in the Green Lantern universe because it's a universe all of its own. We're talking about, a conglomeration of planets, right? And it's just, look, it's amazing. It has amazing characters. There's so much you can do with it. This is a much loved, part of DC Comics. And how it's been left to fester for so long since the first movie kind of confuses me. Now, I know we're getting the Green Lantern TV show over on HBO Max. Very exciting. Can't wait to see that. I think the people running that show are the right people, and I'm looking forward to see what they do with it. But this is why Hal Jordan isn't in that movie. They've kept Hal Jordan away from it. Now, of course, with the multiverse strategy, you could have a Hal Jordan in that world. But also, maybe they don't really want two Hal Jordans so quickly at the same time. Now, the Ryan Reynolds stuff may not be true. It may just be the fact that Zack will be doing a Zack Snyder's Green Lantern Corps, which would be amazing in itself. Now, I think it will, whatever Green Lanterns you're going to see in Zack Snyder's Justice League, I think this is exactly what it's going to be a continuation of that in Zack Snyder's Green Lantern Corps. So whoever actually is playing Hal Jordan will play him in his movie as well. So whoever's playing him in Zack Snyder's Justice League will also play him in his movie, whether it's Ryan Reynolds or the young English actor who had a lot to say when we were fighting for the Snyder Cut at the time. I believe he's playing someone. I believe he's playing a lantern or someone, not necessarily Hal Jordan, but it could be Hal Jordan. I'm starting to think he's not actually Hal Jordan, but he could be. He's got the look to be Hal Jordan, good looking. So he could be Hal Jordan, but the rumor is that it's going to be a Ryan Reynolds starring movie. So it all depends what happens in Zack Snyder's Justice League. Will we see Ryan Reynolds as Hal Jordan, the same Hal Jordan from Ryan's movie, or will it be the young English actor? We don't know. I think the rumors are so strong about Ryan Reynolds cameoing in Zack Snyder's Justice League. He's either going to cameo as a totally different character, or he's actually reprising his role as Hal Jordan. I know what we all want. We want to see him back as Hal. It would be, to have Ryan Reynolds back as this character. He's a big name. It will be great for Zack Snyder. I don't know what kind of relationship Zack's got with Ryan Reynolds. Ryan Reynolds has made a lot of comments about the Snyder Cut. Usually Ryan talks about stuff in a humorous tone, so you never know whether to believe him or not. Kind of denied he was going to be in the Snyder Cut in a jokey kind of way. Obviously, he's not going to play Hawkman. We know that now. But it's a fascinating, exciting rumour. And as I say, the reason it excites me, because I don't think anyone can make a better looking Green Lantern movie than Zack Snyder. And a Green Lantern movie has to look like the dog's balls. It really does. And one thing that Martin Campbell did with the movie, when you went on to O'Hara and those sequences and the Green Lantern stuff, it did look amazing. Yeah, the costumes were rank, should never have been CGI, but the world, the powers, the way the Lanterns used their powers, it was pretty amazing. And Sinestro also looked fucking amazing as well, the way he was made up. So, look, I never thought that Martin Campbell was the right man for the job. He's more kind of got an action background, which you get a lot of in a Green Lantern kind of story. But, you know, with the special effects element, it was hard for Martin. But, again, I think he did a pretty good job. And so what do we think about that? Is Zack Snyder doing a Zack Snyder's Green Lantern Corps? That's what I'm being told, starring Ryan Reynolds as Hal Jordan. It's exactly what I'd like to see. I'd be very excited. Oh, and by the way, a little snippet about this. It would be a direct-to-streaming HBO Max original movie. That is Zack's Playhouse now. And as I said, also being told this would be after Zack Snyder's Justice League. So he's going to be very, very busy. Right now, he's back working on the Army of the Dead prequel. I think he was talking about that. Now, I want to end this video talking about Zack Snyder's political stance because I think that's important for us to understand this before things get dirty again between the fandom. It's very important that you understand freedom of speeches and the right for people to have their own political opinions. We'll deal with that at the end of the show. But yes, that's the rumour I'm being fed. Zack Snyder's Green Lantern Corps. Bring it on, baby. We are not far away from getting an official announcement that we will actually see David Ayer's version of his Suicide Squad movie released over on HBO Max. I told you this would happen. I told you this was a thing. I told you that Zack wouldn't agree to do his own movie without a very significant part of the Snyderverse being included as well. What they did to David's movie was despicable and disgusting, rewriting it, reshooting it with another director we don't even know who directed the reshoots. That movie we saw in cinemas was not David Ayer's Suicide Squad. I'm going to read out the quote tweet he put, which on Twitter, which pretty much signifies that he's actually working on the cut as we speak. So this is from someone called Andy something, right? Ayer already admitted writing faults with the movie too regarding his main villain, etc. These are things that won't be changed by his cut either, by the sounds of it. There are realistically 2 Joker scenes that we are yet to see, and a couple of backstory advances. Of course, this is not true, and this is the tweet that David Ayer quoted, and this is what he had to say. I took the hits like a good soldier when the studio cut hit the streets. It's who I am. I watched my cut for the first time since it was abandoned. It is fucking amazing, on God. I felt guilty for years like I fucked. Nope. It's fire. It's the tone of the Comic-Con trailer. 100%. So that's the 3-minute Comic-Con trailer, if you remember it. I still have actually got that on my PS3. The reason I ain't got my DC trailers playing in the background is because my dad's using the PS3 because my smart TV in the kitchen's broken. I know you're not interested, but I thought I'd let you know just in case you miss the old trailers going on at the back, because I certainly do and will be rectifying that. Anyway, right. So I need to clarify something. Why does this mean he's working on the cut? Well, a few months ago, somebody asked him if he'd seen the cut, if he's watching his own cut, and he said it's the property of Warner Brothers and he did not have access to it. All of a sudden, he's got access to it, which means he's seen the cut. They're allowing him to have it. They're allowing him to basically give his vision. Now, the interesting thing is here, is it something where he has some soundtracks, some special effects, and it's done, which we were always told was the case? Or will he get the same amount of money as Zack Snyder to redo bits and pieces of this movie? This is very interesting, of course, because of course we're getting James Gunn's The Suicide Squad, which is a more mainstream film for mainstream audiences. We know Zack Snyder's Snyderverse isn't that. It's for alternative audiences. People like you and me. I like all the DC stuff, but, you know, I love the Snyderverse. But with this happening and being announced very shortly, and it will be announced very shortly, don't you worry about that. If this film is watched by a lot of people on HBO Max, and why shouldn't it at the end of the day, it's going to have as much hype as the Snyder Cut. Will this give David an opportunity to do offshoot movies? A bit like what James Gunn's doing with The Peacemaker, straight to streaming limited series. Will he get a chance to do a Will Smith Deadshot limited series? Or maybe his own? I was going to say Harley Quinn, but I don't think he'll have access to Harley, unfortunately. And as I brought you exclusively last week, I believe that Margot Robbie will not be playing that character again after James Gunn's The Suicide Squad. Again, my information and sources could be wrong, but with her going over to Disney to do Pirates, it seems to me she was upset with what happened with Birds of Prey and the fantabulous emancipation of one Harley Quinn. So I think she's done. But there are many other characters like Karen Funtuka. Is that how you say her name? She could be involved as well. She could do an offshoot series. There's a lot of, you know, if this is successful once we see it, you know, there's big opportunities here for David Ayer over on HBO Max. And this is what the multiverse and the Elseworld strategy is all about. It gives everyone a sandbox to play in. And this is why I'm so excited about it. And of course, the moment the Ayer cut is officially announced, I will do a video reacting to that because it's very important. What they did to David is what they did to Zack with Justice League. It's despicable. And, you know, it was nerves. It was reactionary. It was bad. And now that gets fixed. Right, now we're going to go off the topic of the DCEU, but stay on the topic of Zack Snyder. Now, he was talking about, he posted a video, and on that video he said he was born in Wisconsin. Is that Wisconsin or however you say it? And he said, this hits hard. And then he played this video about people talking about the presidential election. Again, nothing to do with DC, but I think it's important to clarify this because a lot of people are losing their shit. And I want to explain why he did this. And I just want a bit of peace here. And I want to explain to you that this is no reason for you to jump ship off the Zack Snyder train. It would be absolutely ridiculous. So take a listen to what he posted on Twitter.
Where are you from? I'm from Wasco, Wisconsin. Palmyra, Wisconsin.
From Monticello, Wisconsin in Greene County.
To be from Wisconsin means that we love the seasons.
We barbecue with 30-degree weather here.
The seasons are winter and road construction.
Do we have more lakes than Minnesota? I'm sorry, Minnesota? Yes, we have more lakes than Minnesota. Absolutely, there's no debate. I know this lake.
You can find somebody who has a pontoon boat.
I call it giggle fishing. Because you're so busy bringing them in, you're just going, oh.
Eating Wisconsin cheese, drinking beer, telling stories, and looking up at the stars.
Are there only words from Wisconsin? Or no?
Oh, like, I'm just gonna squeeze right past you.
You want a beer or no?
It's about having common things that y'all root for.
Go Pack Go. I think the Packers should play every Thanksgiving and not the Lions.
People from Wisconsin, I'd say that we are friendly.
Cheeseheads.
Wisconsinites.
My generation, we prefer sconies.
Sexy. Brilliant.
We're independent thinkers.
I think in 2016, people were looking for some type of real change.
He was a straight shooter, telling it like it is.
He said, I'm going to run this like a business, which I think appealed to a lot of people. And I think that's why he got the votes.
And what happened?
Not that.
We've lost thousands of family farms since 2016. You know, my own family sold our herd 2 years ago. And when I drive home to see my parents, there's so many empty barns and empty sheds and empty cow pastures because family farmers can't make it.
It's hard to go back and change course, I think, once you've identified deeply with something. I believe it's on all of us to fix this. I believe we can do that.
It's on Wisconsin.
It's on Wisconsin.
It's on Wisconsin.
On Wisconsin.
Thanks, everybody. And vote Biden.
So you took a listen to the audio of that video. It's pretty much a party political broadcast for the Democrat Party, right? Now, I thought it was a very interesting video. Did Zack shoot that video? Could I hear his voice in the background? Maybe. So Zack is basically telling people to vote Biden. He's saying pretty much he's voting for Biden. Now, you all know my political opinions. I am moderate left. I always have been. My dad's moderate left, and I hate the alt left and I hate the alt right. I think they're all about hatred of men, hatred of anything different on the right. They're never going to be the answer, but their gobs are bigger, right? Again, this is the dceu daily. I don't want to go too deeply into politics, but a lot of people who supported Zack for 3 years now threatening to jump ship and not subscribe to HBO Max. You know, bye-bye, see you later. You know, I was brought up by people who told me never to discuss politics and religion at the dinner table, and I always felt that was pretty good advice. This is the one thing that can destroy friendships and relationships of any kind. My opinion is, have your political opinion, keep shut about it, vote on polling day, whether you win or lose, be a gent, be a lady about it, and move on. But the political discussion now isn't about nuance anymore. It's, I believe this, and I'm right and you're wrong. That's it. There's no nuance. There's no debate talking about what one candidate represents against the other. Obviously, to me, Trump doesn't really represent anything, but not even chaos, not even anarchy. He's not even that. He's nothing. He's just some guy who sat in the Oval Office for, 4 years and just spouted a lot of BS. People fell for what he had to say. And I think that video really gives it that. But it's not about the politics. It's not about what you believe. This guy, listen, you've got to understand what Hollywood's about. And Zack Snyder is now playing the Hollywood game. Zack Snyder was out on his ear after Justice League. He didn't have any position, anywhere to go after his daughter's suicide and when he walked from Justice League. He was in trouble. His career was over. He would be lucky. He would have been lucky at the time to do what he did when he started in directing, which is making commercials, right? He was gone. He was outside the Hollywood door. Somehow he got the Army and the Dead gig on Netflix. That was just the beginning. And then the movement really captivated everything, and he got his chance to bring his Justice League movie. He's back at the Warner Brothers table, thanks to HBO Max, AT&T and Warner Media, right? That side of Warner Brothers. He's back. He doesn't want to ever do anything to risk not doing that again. He loves DC. He wants to be at the DC table. He wants to be allowed to keep on making his DC movies. And if he has to go out and endorse Biden, that's what he's going to do. I don't know if he's genuinely a Democrat or a Republican, and I don't care. And you shouldn't care either. The point is, he's playing the Hollywood game, which they all do. And yeah, Zack's always going to be Zack. He's always going to say it how it is, right? Like he did at SnyderCon. But at the end of the day, it's different now. He's back. He's back. He's back at Warner Brothers, and he has to play the game. And if you don't understand that, then you really don't get the entertainment industry. Don't get triggered if you don't agree with him. Don't start talking about not supporting him anymore just because you don't both agree. We don't have to agree, but we can be friends. That's how adult, mature people live in the real world. And foolish people, spoilt people who are always used to winning the argument and getting their own way, spit their or kick their toys out the pram and say, well, I'm not supporting you anymore. Sorry, that's not how life works. Zack Snyder is a great director. He's a great guy. And I can't wait to see his Justice League movie and more of his DC content. Bring it on. And I certainly, even if I wasn't a moderate left, I still wouldn't be triggered by this. I don't care. I just care about his day job. That's it. The DC directing part is all I care about. I don't care about anything else. I don't even care about Army of the Dead. I'm not like a Zack Snyder zombie or anything. I care about what he does with DC. I love all DC content. I get excited about anything that's being developed in the DC universe. And I'm excited for the future and what Zack's going to do. Comment down below, like, share and subscribe, and I'll be back tomorrow with even more DCEU Daily. See you again soon.